This is one of the earliest pieces of software ever made for the Apple Macintosh. It's called Apple ResEdit Debugger, and it dates all the way back to 1982. Back in the day, if you wanted to develop software for the Macintosh, you would have to do it in assembly language, which is a very low-level programming language that is extremely tedious and time-consuming. And because of this, Apple actually hired a company called Aztec Software to develop a better kind of programming environment for the Macintosh. Their solution was called the Apple Pascal Compiler, and it allowed developers to write software in a higher-level language called Pascal, which was much faster and easier to code in. But there was one major problem. The Apple Pascal compiler didn't work very well with the Mac OS kernel, which is the core of the operating system that runs on the Macintosh. This caused all sorts of unpredictable behavior, and it made the Mac crash a lot. So Apple needed a way to debug or find and fix all of these errors. That is where this program comes in. The Apple ResEdit Debugger was a simple program that allowed developers to inspect the memory space of the Mac while it was running. With it, they could check to see what values were stored in memory and where those values were stored. With this information, they could then go into the code and figure out what was going wrong and how to fix it. Now, this debugger is extremely rudimentary by today's standards. It doesn't even have a graphical user interface. It's all text-based. But keep in mind that this was written in 1982. It's almost 40 years old. And to put that into perspective, the first version of Xcode Apple's modern-day software development kit was unreleased until 1986. So this was basically the Xcode of its day. This version of the ResEdit Debugger was never officially released by Apple. It's an unreleased beta version that was only given to a select few developers, and because of that, there is very little information about it online. But luckily, someone did document it, and you can read all about it on their website. Now, if you're a developer and you want to use this yourself, unfortunately, you're out of luck. It was never officially released, so there's no way to get your hands on it. But if you're just curious about what it does, you can run it in an emulator and take a look around. I've also linked to the documentation in the description if you want to learn more about it. Now, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do you think it's as cool that we can just take a look at the source code of old programs like this? Or do you think it's kind of weird? Let me know down in the comments. This has been your host. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.